For my first birthday, my parents took me to France for 1 month. We flew to Paris, where we stayed at the Ritz Hotel, which is the most famous hotel in France. It is on the Place Vendôme, close to the Paris Opera, the Louvre Museum, and the tourist gardens, three of the most famous places in Paris and in all of France. The Paris Opera is one of the most beautiful opera houses in the world and location of the musical Phantom of the Opera, the play seen by most people in the world. The Louvre Museum is the most famous museum in the world and home of the Mona Lisa painting by Leonardo da Vinci. The tourist gardens was the gardens of kings of France, which were next to the tourist palace where they lived. Here is a copy of the Eiffel Tower, which more people visited than any other monument in the world. It is the tallest building in Paris. We ate lunch at the restaurant halfway up the tower, where you could see all of Paris. It was built as a gateway for the 1989 World's Fair. It was meant to be torn down immediately after the fair, but over 2 million people visited it the first year, so it became not only Paris's main attraction, but France's main attraction as well. After Paris, we went to Disneyland Paris and stayed in the Castle Hotel. Here is a photo of my birthday party with Mickey Mouse at Disneyland, and here is a photo of my stone at the entrance to Disneyland. It has my name and my birth date on it. Then we went to the Loire Valley, which is known as the Garden of France and the cradle of the French language. There we stayed at the Château de la Fourchette, the former home of a prince. We went to see many famous chateaux in the area. One was the last home of the Italian inventor and painter Leonardo da Vinci, given to him by the King of France. This was where he finished his work on the painting of the Mona Lisa. When Leonardo died, his paintings were taken by the French government, which is how the Mona Lisa ended up in the Louvre Museum in Paris. Leonardo da Vinci understood, or tried to understand, all about the world around him. He thought of inventions such as the parachute, the tank, the camera, the paddleboat, flying machines, and the helicopter many centuries before they actually existed. King Francois of France invited Leonardo da Vinci to France, where Leonardo was given the Clos de Manor next to the royal castle where the king lived. The king did this because how great was Leonardo's genius and his ability to understand the abstract in life. The king asked only that Leonardo allow him the pleasure of listening to Leonardo da Vinci talk. We then went to Chateau d'Ussé, the castle that the writer of Sleeping Beauty used for the scene of Sleeping Beauty. The castle later became inspiration of Walt Disney's Disneyland Castle. After the Loire Valley, which is the center of France, we went to the northern seaside of France in Normandy, where we stayed at another chateau on the seaside. Normandy is famous for its beautiful white sand beaches, its amazing seasons, the famous all-white towns of Normandy, and stunning cathedrals. It was once home of the northern conquerors, the Vikings, who ruled both France and England. We went to the Abbey of Mont St. Michael, which is an island connected to the mainland by a walkway which is on the water at high tide. The Abbey is 264 feet above the sea and reached by a steep climb up the winding narrow road. It is one of the greatest sightseeing attractions France is a great country, rich in history, culture, inspiring buildings, and great food.
Can you show us where it is on the map, please? Where is France on the map?
France is between Switzerland and Luxembourg. And here's the Loire Valley. And this is my teddy bear that I got from the Ritz Hotel. It was for my first birthday. And this is me when I first made my first steps and I talked. And I'll read you this. Okay. France, the largest Western European country in the area, is shaped like a hexagon, and three of its six sides are bounded by water. The English Channel on the northwest, the Atlantic Ocean, and the Bay of Naples on the west, and the Mediterranean Sea on the southeast. Paris, the capital of France, the capital and largest city of France, is one of the world's greatest cities. For hundreds of years, Paris has been world's capital of art and learning. Many great artists have produced their masterpieces there. Every year, millions of tourists visit the famous Paris landmarks as the cathedrals of Notre Dame, the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, one of the largest art museums in the world. The peaceful wooded Loire Valley has chateau or castle. The French are famous for their enjoyment and life. Good food and good wine are an important part of everyday living for most French. The wines of France are considered by most the best in the world. Almost every restaurant has at least one recipe of its own. The delicious breads, appetizers, sauces, and desserts of France are copied by cooks all over the world. And these are some French words and basics of basic. It was somewhere and I already told you I went my first steps and I was very hungry and I said, Coach, if you want to eat something, come and get it. And I was really, really hungry, and I walked to get it without my mom helping me.